Hi Gemini, here is a general look at your solar chart for April 2016. Here's some astro notes as well. For these, this is for all the signs, but this is related to your sign. So until the 12th there is the element of surprise. There is some coming and going, comings and goings related to people that you're meeting in a social sort of a way, mixing and mingling with people, but also what the group mind is up to, you know, what the larger mind of the country maybe, or of the world. And so there is, there's quite a lot of this changeable and quite uncertain feeling going on this month. And Mars is close by degree to Neptune. Mars is in your opposite sign. Neptune is at the top of your chart. And again, it's, you know, what's happening across the wider stage, not quite certain, not quite sure, and lack of confidence when making a decision, and sort of getting in the way when wanting to make a decision or take action. Yeah, that could be a little bit like that. It could mean that you're being more helpful and supportive towards someone. You know, I know, sort of like one-to-one, being more of service there to somebody one-to-one, but also taking the load maybe in a way, but feeling that the call of duty, you know, there's something here going on bigger than us, that kind of feeling. And maybe stepping up to the plate in some way or another. Now, there is going to be a new moon on April the 7th, and that's going to be in Aries, and it's going to be conjuncting Uranus, and also in a hard aspect to Pluto. However, there is a nice aspect coming in from Saturn. New moon will tend to unfold itself over the coming month until the next new moon. And for you, this is pretty you know, it's pretty positive, especially in the area of friends, any groups that you are connected with, but also, again, what's going on in the larger hive mind, the collective mind. So change is certainly in the air, and over and above everything is to kind of take this attitude of it's not time to consolidate here at all. So it's like an experimental, suck it and see, wait and see what happens sort of attitude, really. But also it's the kind of attitude which is how would I put that? It's the kind of attitude which is you mustn't be hasty in making a decision. Because it can be quite restless energy. It's sort of twitchy energy. It's like now you see them, now you don't, blowing hot, blowing cold, that kind of energy. So it is to, again, perhaps take a step back, try and stay calm and see how it's going, sort of thing, whatever this is applying to in your life. But change is in the air. And if you've got your sun, your moon, an important point in your chart, your rising sign in the area 15 to 23 degrees, then this would be particularly if it was in another air or fire sign, this would probably be good news for you. If it's in an earth or having said that, Sagittarius is opposite you, but if it's in an earth or water sign, then treading with a little bit more care. But remember to that was what I was searching for, being flexible, hanging loose, and just don't, you know, be hasty, and don't let that kind of restless, jittery feeling get on top of you. But actually this new moon energy can bring progressive new conditions into your life, which are altogether advantageous if you play your cards right. With Saturn lending a hand, remember Saturn has a maternal protective side to her as well, as her more infamous attributes. And if you're diligent and consistent and meeting the criterion of what Saturn is bringing you through partners, through those close in opposite numbers, in like in your inner circle maybe, or temporarily in the inner circle, and then they're not there, so it's fleeting or long term. It's usually long term with Saturn, really. So anybody that you're just meeting is possibly going to play a part in your life from time to time or consistently over the future. You doing this steady building work, maintenance as you're going along, building towards this feeling of things opening into this very, very different scenario, which is a very progressive and is taking you to somewhere which you're altogether more likely to be successful through that area there, or by using that method, or by having that perspective, or that partnership, or that location, or whatever it is. Or that job. So now with idealistic Jupiter opposite dreamy Neptune, that's at the top and the bottom of your chart. Jupiter's at the bottom, Neptune's at the top. So there is still this area of uncertainty, this idealistic attitude of, you know, how you would like it to be is not being able to be brought down to earth right now. But because you've got Saturn on the new moon, you work towards it. And other things as well, but just that one there. There's this confusion. There's a kind of the muddle of what's going on, maybe with things outside of your control, perhaps. So keeping away from dodgy schemes, and you know, if something looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, then it probably is a duck. And then at the same time, we've got Jupiter in a hard angle to Saturn. Now, that one there is, it means a time for cautious expansion and cautious optimism, right? But again, not to really do anything dramatic, I wouldn't anyway. And keep moving forwards with circumspection, and have a plan, and have a plan B as well. And you will gradually broaden your horizons. Late month, we've got transiting Uranus, transiting Pluto, and transiting Venus all colliding together. And so that for you is, yeah, with friendships, but also it's to do with, again, the larger hive mind. More riding on this, you know, maybe you getting a feeling inside of like more emotional reaction to what's going on, maybe again outside of your control, or maybe it is, but it's, you know, it's in your personal life, or whatever that's about. It can be something to do with technology and the internet as well, or through the internet. Well, what doesn't come through the internet these days? Well, a lot of things actually. Smells, you know, new mown grass, fresh hay. Why did I think of that straight away? But, you know, smells that we really love. You can't get any of that through the internet. Yet. So, watch this space. But, you know, I mean, anything synthetic, we're going to be able to just, you know, I mean, it's just not going to work, is it? Now, equally, there is the need for you to remain centered and flexible here with this one, because, again, blowing hot, blowing cold, ups and downs, changing environment, changing conditions, maybe a bit of tension hanging in the air. Yeah, there. Okay, so now we have other things to talk about, and the Sun is in a very friendly, sociable area. You've got more of a social awareness now of others' ideas, and it's a very future-orientated vibe. It's a good vibe for you, Geminians. Until the 6th, there's going to be a period to discuss and chew the fat with others, find out stuff, get those nuggets of information, and others could see you as being the one with the information, being the one with the knowledge, and you could be maybe in rather unconventional situations, unfamiliar sorts of situations as well. And then from the, well, I'm going to mention Venus here as well, because Venus is helping you to oil the wheels with people in authority. This one here is very, very useful with the boss, with the teacher, with the parents, with the parental sort of guardian figure. You know, anybody who's in a position to help you up the ladder of success can be well disposed towards you. That's up until the 6th. And after the 6th, again, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to suddenly change, because this is a very good vibe for making friends, for particularly connecting in with people in a group gathering sort of a way. And again, it's got that edge to it. It's got that feeling of, oh, this is new, you know. These are good areas. Well, that area there is a good one for you Geminians, connecting with others in that supportive kind of way, feeling that you are clicking, you with people who've got the same mindset or singing from the same page, that kind of thing. That's the feeling of it there. And then Mercury moves, that's your ruling planet, into quite a background area. You become a little bit more kind of ruminating, self-reflecting, zoning out from time to time. Amazing imagination, though. If you just lean into your imagination and into that inner world, whether that's for you a spiritual world or an artistic world, that can be working very well for you there. Mars is in your opposite sign for quite a while. Mars is in the same place as Saturn is at the moment. And that can really heat up exchanges with others. You can feel a bit aerated at times, or a bit narked at times, because of what's going on with another, or their attitude or their behavior, words towards you, or it might not be somebody, you know, you might be shouting at the radio like I do. Again, it just kind of amps that up, you know, that feeling of crossing swords, fisticuffs, thrashing something out, you know, in that very kind of feisty sort of way, as Mars likes to do with another. The advice would be to try to keep things cool, on an even keel, of course, and don't dive in headfirst with all guns blazing, and you will be fine. Saturn's in there as well, and Saturn tends to cool things down big style. So Saturn is in your opposite sign and helping you to put things on a more formal footing, helping you to compromise and understand how you've got to maybe chisel this shape between you and another, which is new, which you're learning how to do, because it's not the normal routine, it's not the normal sort of schedule, or it's not the familiar ground that you're used to. So it's having to cut back a bit, and there is quite a lot going on about, you know, where to cut back, where to expand over this month anyway. Because again, that feeling of lacking the information, lacking the feeling of you know, which way to lean, you know. And then we have the Sun moving on the 20th, and that is going into this more private sort of mood that Mercury's already gone in there on the 6th. The Sun moves in there on the 20th. So it comes out of this gregarious, sociable area and goes into a more background, sort of pulling strings from the background, supporting from the background sort of area. But again, this air of unknowing, or cloud of unknowing, you know, it comes into my mind. And that's a quote from something or other. It's probably Sufi, but I can't quite remember. So now, I probably have forgotten an awful lot more than I can remember of what I've read over the years now. But it's kind of just synthesizes and goes right into the hard drive. So it's just kind of in there. Now, Saturn, opposite, compromise, collaboration, cooperation, but in quite a formal way, maybe not in an easy, flowy way, you know, watching your P's and Q's, seeing where your limitations are within that setup, within that working relationship or personal, in your personal life relationship. You Geminians born the 4th to the 7th of June, or with 14 to 17 degrees rising, are to feel that energy the most. Jupiter's at the root of your chart, as I mentioned earlier. Again, this high sort of level of idealism there, related to how you want it to be, at home maybe, or maybe at some place, some location, or maybe it's not like that. Maybe it's within the family, or maybe it's not even like that, like it's extended family, tribal, it's the community, it's the neighborhood. And again, this feeling of this month at least, of like, maybe sometimes you might be thinking, that's crazy. You know, why are they doing that? Why are they thinking that? It might be like that, or it might not. It might be like, I haven't got, there's things hidden here. There's things hidden here, and I can't get a grip on them. So I can't make an informed choice, or take an action, or make a decision, or I just don't know which way this thing is going to go. But in general, Jupiter there is a good place, I think. You know, you get more inner equilibrium, you feel more emotionally settled, you can be expanding your territory, literally, you know, an annex or add-ons to where you are, or just making it feel more spacious, or there's more of a view, or whatever it is. And you Geminians born from the 2nd to the 6th of June, and with 12 to 16 degrees rising, are going to feel that energy the most. And also, you know, feeling like maybe you got there's more settlement within a family or a neighborhood in general during that transit. But just over April, there's going to be this kind of feeling of, yeah, not quite being able to see clearly the edges of the road, as it were. And then we have, then we have Neptune itself going through your career area over a very, very long transit. And you have to integrate the idea of higher service, or being of service, putting yourself out for something bigger than yourself. So maybe you are earning quite well, and part of that earning goes to charity. So you could be hugely successful with Neptune there, but you've just got to have this little charitable thing on the side. Or maybe it's not like that. Maybe it's another way. You're more the facilitator, you're more of the enabler, or you're more of the, you're putting your own wishes or abilities. And I would say, nah, don't put your abilities on one side, but got to try and integrate them in to how you can, how it can be beneficial for others in society in some way or another. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the day job. It might be something you're doing as a hobby. You Geminians born the 30th of May, but it's likely to be the day job if you work in the day. You born the 30th of May to the 2nd of June, with 10 to 12 degrees rising, you're going to feel the energy of Neptune the most this month. And that's it. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those, and also check this material out on DianaGarland.com if you like. And I'll see you the next time.